What do you look at when you get your hands on a $1 bill? Its value? Whether it's torn. But what if that piece of paper isn't just money? What if it's carrying a message? Or even part of a plan? Today, we're going to look at the money in your pocket from a different perspective. And this time, it's not just history that will speak. Systems, symbols, and secrets will too. 1. Washington's gaze. What he's not looking at matters more. Yes, George Washington is on the front. The founding president. Everyone knows him. But have you ever noticed? Washington's face is turned to the right. He's not looking directly at you. And his face isn't turned toward that strange symbol on the back of the bill. The pyramid and the eye. Coincidence? Or is it telling us this? Focus on the figure up front, but the real power is in the background. 2. The back side, a blueprint of a system. Now we flip to the back of the $1 bill. There are two symbols here. On the left, an unfinished pyramid with an all-seeing eye on top. On the right, the American eagle, holding arrows and an olive branch. At first glance, it looks like a historical narrative. But these symbols don't just speak of independence or founding values. They're the visual language of an ideology, a kind of encrypted blueprint. 3. The pyramid and the eye, more than architecture. A pyramid, 13 levels, unfinished. At the top, a glowing, solitary eye. The eye of providence, the eye of divine watchfulness. But let's ask, is it really God watching? Or does it symbolize a much more earthly form of surveillance by the founders? The top section of the pyramid doesn't belong to the structure. It's separate, detached from the system, yet watching over it. At the top, independent, central, Novis Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages. Do you know what that really means? We're not just looking at founding documents. We're looking at a visual blueprint for a new world order. So are the founders telling us this? We built the system, but there is another power watching it from above. Now, brace yourself. The phrase written above the eye, annuit coeptis, when translated literally, means, he watched over our project. A project. This isn't just a nation. It's the name of a carefully planned structure, a long-term system. 4. Who really owns the eye? Now we come to the most talked about and most concealed part. Do these symbols point to the Illuminati? The Illuminati was a secret society founded in 1776. What a coincidence! The exact year of America's independence, in Germany. What was their purpose? To rule through knowledge, reason over religion, influence through secrecy. And who were many of America's founding fathers? Freemasons, people familiar with symbols, rituals, and esoteric language. Washington himself was a Mason. Many founding leaders were members of the lodge. And in Freemasonry, symbols like the pyramid, the eye, and the star are familiar elements. The eye on the $1 bill is identical to the all-seeing eye found in Masonic temples. This isn't a coincidence. It's a deliberate reference. But why? Because the dollar bill isn't just an object passed from hand to hand. It's a carrier of ideology. So maybe this currency is part of a grand plan. And the name of the plan? Novis Ordo Seclorum. A new order. A system of surveillance. A system of obedience. 5. The eagle, visible peace, hidden power. Now let's look to the right side. The American eagle. The olive branch represents peace. The arrows represent war. The eagle's face is turned toward peace. That seems like good news. But it could also be a distraction. Because while it shows peace, the other talon tightly grips 13 arrows of war. And it never lets go. What if this isn't just about being prepared? What if it actually means we are always on alert? Above the eagle's head, there's a hexagonal structure made up of 13 stars. In occult and mystical systems, this shape symbolizes celestial order, perfect hierarchy. So it's not random. It's structured. It's encoded. 6. In God we trust. But which God? Since 1957, the following words have appeared on the US dollar. In God we trust. But which one? The Christian God? Or a God that watches, speaks in symbols, and has pyramids built in its name? According to some interpretations, this phrase actually highlights a single center of trust. Not God, but the state itself, a kind of pledge of ideological loyalty. From this perspective, the dollar isn't just used for transactions. It manufactures belief. 7. The architecture of the system, the meaning of the number 13. One last detail. The number 13 appears over and over again on every corner of the $1 bill. It's not just about the 13 colonies. It's a symbolic encryption. 13-step pyramid. 13 arrows. 13 leaves. 13 fruits. 13 stars. E pluribus unum. 13 letters. So why 13? In some esoteric traditions, 13 represents transformation and rebirth. It symbolizes destruction and reconstruction. In other words, the $1 bill quietly tells us, we were torn down, we were reborn, and this time, we wrote the system ourselves. 8. What you're holding isn't paper, it's a manifesto. Now you know, the $1 bill isn't just a means of payment. It's a manifesto, a visual blueprint of a plan, possibly the hidden constitution of a worldview. So the next time you pull a dollar out of your wallet, ask yourself, what do I believe in? And what does this piece of paper tell me to believe? Now the choice is yours. If those symbols aren't there by accident, what's hidden in the other currencies? Which currency should we examine next? Drop it in the comments. Maybe the next secret is hiding in the change in our pockets.